So I thought I'd do a quick video of the turtle pond I have built, but before I kind of show the larger pond as a whole, because these frogs are going to spook off the second I start, walking around the pond here. Um, yeah, so these are actually just wild frogs that have found their way to this pond, which I'm kind of impressed by because the first thing you'll notice is that I have a skirting that goes all around this pond that is intended to make it difficult for the turtles themselves. Really, there's just one turtle in here. For the turtle itself to be able to get out of this exhibit, but I thought make it also difficult for other stuff to make it in, say native frogs and stuff like that. But that does not seem to be the case because these are two different species of frog right here that have both independently found a way into here. So I'll just back up as a whole and show kind of like the pond itself. So it's set up right in front of my kitchen table so that I can view it from a beautiful angle. Yeah, this would be the angle that I would be viewing it from. And then I also have kind of another viewing angle from here that again kind of shows you the whole waterfall, the whole setup, and the actual larger pond itself. So you can see we have some just goldfish in here, and then a diamondback terrapin who is, there we go, diamondback terrapin. Oh, by the way, these are a pig frog and probably a leopard frog. So the pond itself, the larger pond itself, I started digging this deeper pond. It's about 3 feet deep, probably about 500 gallons. Let's go from this angle. Probably about 500 gallons, and you can kind of see I then built this secondary waterfall and kind of like a little more shallow pond area. And so you can see I have a UV canister filter over here that kind of cleans the pond. So let's go and look at kind of for more detail. So some kind of like cool plants here. This is actually a giant corpse flower, and a couple other odds and ends and plants in here. So here is the waterfall itself, the primary waterfall. What's really cool is that the area in here is kind of like an open grotto type area underneath these rocks that the frogs really seem to make use of. The terrapin is a kind of predatory turtle. So yeah, they definitely make use of the nice shelter it provides. You can see I have some bromeliads kind of skirting the edge of these and a couple of other plants. This is fall, so these trees, these red buds have dropped a lot of leaves in the past couple of weeks, so it's kind of dampened what this would normally otherwise look like, but you can see it's pretty cool. So this is about 1 foot deep, and it makes a really good growing area for more shallow water areas that seem to have a little bit more trouble taking root in that pond. Even though I have more shallow areas in that pond, they just didn't seem to want to anchor down, whereas they really like this confined space, and it being only about 1 foot deep. These plants have really taken off and being here. So you can see there's I ran out of rock. I need some larger rock to kind of cover that portion of the liner. Kind of same over there in that corner, but from certain viewing angles you can't really see it, which is why I really haven't been bothered much to replace it. So then this pond, the smaller pond, cascades down into the larger pond through this little kind of tinier waterfall. So there's really kind of 2 waterfalls in this pond. And then the pond itself, this spider web here that I'm trying not to break, has several kind of step downs that allow for kind of multiple planting options, which I've made use of at various points in the past. I actually just thinned out a bunch of vegetation from this pond going into the winter here. So yeah, at any rate, this is sort of like, I also have a lot of goats on the property that I let free range from time to time, so that's why this whole area is sort of fenced off. This is really one of the few areas of the property that I can make sure that the goats themselves don't have access to. So as such, I can kind of plant some of my more fun, cooler, oddball plants. So I've also built this little bridge area out of some of the rock that again is just kind of like a little cool feature. So I have a lot of desire for doing more planting and stuff as well, but you can just see the overall design itself of the pond's probably not going to change a whole lot much, aside from getting more rock work to kind of disguise the edges here. But I think it's beautiful, and I really enjoy it. It's great to, sit at my kitchen table and look out over this, and just watch the turtle kind of do his thing, and the wild frogs kind of do their thing, and sometimes the wild birds will come and take a bath here, and it's really enjoyable to watch, and the cats love it as well. Yeah, it's really been a great addition to the yard, and I think it's just totally drop dead gorgeous. And so like I said, right now I just have one turtle in it, it's fish and small ball stuff, but I've contemplated doing various other things with this setup, but for the time being, the terrapin seems to be pretty happy in here, and every time I've tried to introduce him to other turtles in the past, he can be a little bit of a bully, so he's just sort of a you know cool addition to the pond.